Well, welcome to another episode of Rock, Flag, and Hike with your host, Just Sean. Yes, that is my trail name. And just like my hiking, this shit don't quit. So, next section, a little over 100 miles. I am packed for 5 days of food from Gorham to Stratton. I am sub 300 miles. The hiking continues to be difficult, but now I have snowshoes. So I definitely did some damage on my left leg post-holing, especially coming down Mount Washington. So I got a little bit of injury to deal with that, but no big deal. Nothing a little pain med can't take care of. Hoping to hit 20 plus miles a day, really kind of have to, but I hope my body's into it. I made it this far. And let's see what else. Oh, new trekking poles. Same kind as my old ones, except they're women's. Apparently the handle size is smaller. I don't know. I don't feel any difference, but yeah, my poles or the one that had broke before, I broke through the ice bridge. It got caught on a branch and I pulled it too hard and it snapped in half, and that was that. I got pretty lucky in Gorham, between the weather, a place to stay, and also the hardware shop being a gear shop as well. And since hardware shops are considered an essential business, it's all open. So that was great, really great. So yeah, next 100 miles, let's get after it. So far, I'm pretty happy with the snowshoes. You know, obviously you can't move too fast, and there's a little bit of adjustment to how you walk, but I can stay consistent with my pace and not slip and slide back and forth so much. So far so good. If I got to hike in snow like this, and also having the trekking poles. Trekking poles are like a new car. Like, something has to break on them and then they'll be fine. Like, so I finally discovered, like, oh, those big baskets you put on the end, like, they're pretty helpful. Got these. Well, I put it on, and then I don't know, maybe a mile, one of them just popped off. So much for that. It's like having your first scratch on your new car. Is what it is. Wow. Just another peak. Wow, you can see the presidentials and almost the tip of Washington. Would not want to be up there today. Well, the snowshoes make it 1,000 times easier, but it's still really fucking hard. And the trail, sometimes I can follow it, but otherwise it's like non-existent. And so are the fucking blazes. There's like no blazes around here, so I'm having to navigate by gut hook and visual cues, which is not fun. It just slows things down. But you know, like normally I'd fall into there. Nope, not now. Oh, I bent my pole already. Jesus. Not with the snowshoes. Whew. Finally, consistent blazing that I can follow. Oh, and there's one over there. I can see one up there too. Ah, great. One more mountain to climb for New Hampshire. Mount Success. Yes. Mount Success. How successful it feels. New Hampshire giving me the send-off. Goodbye, Mount Washington. Goodbye, Whites. Maine, I see you out there. I'm coming. Whew, all right. Here we go. The main attraction. All right. Oh my God. Huh, that really made me work for it. Welcome to Maine. Now to get to camp. Well, it's certainly a morning. Yesterday started out good. And then it wasn't until the last couple miles it just got really bad. My shirt got wet. I didn't put on my rain jacket when I should have, and there's all this snow in the trees, so it just falls on top of you. And it was just so physically draining with all this snow, even with snowshoes. I think I might have to throw in the towel on this and come back. But I still have 14 miles to get to a road, because I can make it. It's just, I might only be 7 miles today or something, but I can't hike through this kind of snow. It's too much work. It's not fun. Well, today has gone from bad to worse. I'm in too far to get out. I'm trapped. I am up on a mountain. I mean, I'm safe. But I've decided to hit the SOS button and get rescued out of here. Snow's too deep and my feet can't handle it. It's really just, it's embarrassing. It's yeah, so here's to living to another day, though. So that didn't go as planned at all, obviously. But let me explain and add in some more details about what happened so that, well, one, you know, I don't get into that kind of situation again. And two, maybe you can recognize a situation like that and avoid it before you have to hit the SOS button. So I will say, originally my parameters for hitting what I call the shit oh shit button is, you know, if I'm immobile, like a broken leg, snake bite, I don't know, something that there's no way that I can get out without, you know, being rescued. Well, that's not exactly the best way to use the SOS button. Ideally, if you can use it before you get in a situation where you are immobile or incapacitated or something like that, it's the best time to use it. It's a little hard to, you know, predict those things. But for me, what was going on was there was a big snowstorm that came through after my summit of Mount Washington. I stayed at a hostel in Gorham to wait it out. I did a zero here, and the next day picked up some snowshoes, and figured, hey, you know, I can do it. It's fine. So I went out, and the first couple miles is going to be a 17-mile day, and it was going pretty well. I lost the trail a couple times, but, you know, used gut hug to get back on it and things like that. It wasn't, spirits were good. The problem was it was just taking a really, really long time, and it was very tiring. I didn't get into camp until after dark, which when you can't see the trail or the markers is definitely a red flag. And also for about the last 3 miles, my Under Armour heat gear, the one shirt that I need to keep warm or dry, was soaking wet, and so were my gloves from snow that was in the trees that was constantly falling on top of me. I made a light dinner and went to sleep, slept warm and everything, but like all my socks were wet. My sealskins were no longer working the way they were supposed to. And also the night before, my feet had started to get cold. Well, I woke up in the morning and I was like, okay, I just put things on, just take it one step at a time. I got 14 miles to go to get to, Grafton, something Notch. But within there is a section of the AT that is considered one of the hardest or the hardest sections. And I didn't entirely realize that. I mean, I knew it was there. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't think about it too much. So I was really only about a half a mile in, and I got on top of Mount Carlos, which is probably only about half a mile past the border into Maine, and realized that I can't go forward anymore. My feet were starting to go numb, and they were soaking wet already. It's not like they're going to get drier. But I can't really go back either. I'm in so deep that I can't. It's unsafe to go back, and it's unsafe to go forward. So I did sit on top of that mountain for quite a while and contemplate what my options were, and eventually and obviously decided that I had to hit the SOS button. So I did. Quickly got in contact with someone. I had cell service, which just made things easier, and coordinated with a local game warden guy who patrols the area, and he pointed out a side trail that was right next to the shelter where I had stayed at, and I had seen, I just didn't realize it would take me to safety. And he pointed me down that, and it was all downhill. It was like 2.5 miles, and I was able to get out, and all he had to do was pick me up. They had talked about getting a helicopter before that, but I'm glad it didn't work out. I mean, I'm glad that didn't have to happen, and that I was able to get out on my own accord. I mean, the wild part is after dropping another 1,000 feet, like it was warm, there's very little snow, and I was fine. But yeah, learning experience. I mean, he told me I did the right things and I had the right equipment. I had enough food, I had shelter, I had everything like that. It's just, he said I got out when, you know, I should get out. So that's kind of what happened there. Of course, I feel a little shame and a little bit guilty, but it's just those are natural feelings. You know, I feel like I let myself down, but I get to live to hike another day, and that's important. And I'm glad I didn't have to get a bunch of other people involved in this. So I am done on the Appalachian Trail until this summer. I'll come back in like August. After I'm heading back out west, I'm going to finish the PCT. I'm going to rock that. I'm going to make tons of great decisions and just have a blast. And then I'm going to come back and finish the AT in nice weather, when there's no snow. Oh, it's going to be great. And then I'll be on to the CDT, and just great things to come. So this adventure still continues, but I just wanted to explain to people, you know, in more detail what happened. So yeah, keep on blazing. Watch out for that deep snow.